Hello. Hello, young woman of Yakima. My name is Dr. Lemp, and I would like to introduce you to student Dr. Gritten, who is working with me. We both have stories about how we became doctors, and we'd like to offer some encouragement and inspiration for your dreams along the way. I'm here to encourage you to follow your dreams. Right now, you are probably have many hopes, dreams, and inspirations. You may see many open paths to your dreams, leading you to where you want to go. And you also might be seeing lots of barriers too, because there are always barriers and open paths along everywhere you go in life. About your age, I realized it was time to look at my dream of becoming a doctor. I recognized the people who encouraged me and those who told me that I couldn't do it, which were a lot of people. I found there were things I could control, like staying in school and getting decent grades, and things I couldn't control, like money. Why do I really want to be a doctor? How do I even know if I like it? Were always important questions. I got experience and I learned that I really liked it and I really could be good at becoming a physician. I had a mission to physically take care of the sick and the suffering people medically. I had a passion, a focus, and I really cared. I liked the balance of being smart, making tough decisions, and working directly, taking care of people of all ages. I got through high school and college, but my grades and my test scores were mediocre, although I tried as hard as I could. The first year I applied to medical school, I was rejected by all 16 schools. I applied the second year, and I finally got into one small school, very far from my home. I had to make the choice to leave my home, my boyfriend at the time, and I was 23 years old, by the way, and my family. I wanted to be a doctor more than anything, and I had to sacrifice. I worked really hard in medical school, and I worried that I'd be kicked out and not pay the bills. Eventually, I became a doctor, and I came to Yakima, also from very far away. You don't need to sacrifice and leave your hometown and family if you want to be a doctor here in Yakima. Pacific Northwest University is a medical school here and is actually very similar to the school that I went to. We need doctors from Yakima to go to medical school here in Yakima and to become a physician here. You know your people, your hometown, better than anyone else. We need to speak the language of our people, such as Spanish, and in Yakima, and if you're bilingual and biliterate already, you will communicate and bond with your patients on a much deeper level. You know your cultural beliefs and how people feel about medicine. You can be a better doctor for this reason and go to medical school here. So follow your dreams, whatever they may be. If you want to become a physician, you can. Keep paths open and don't let the bumps in the road get you down. I am one of those people that want to continue to encourage you, and I hope you continue to meet people that keep those doors open. My favorite quote is by Russell Wilson, one of my favorite people from the Seattle Seahawks, and his practical advice is I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. So beside me is a second-year medical student who I've known actually before she started medical school. She was actually my teacher in a gym class, and I'd like to introduce you again to student Dr. Gritten.
Hello, my name's Rosalina, and like Dr. Lemp said, I am currently attending Pacific Northwest University in Terrace Heights. And so in a couple years, I'll be a doctor. And I actually didn't grow up knowing that I wanted to be a doctor. I just wasn't really surrounded by it. My parents, my mom washes dishes at the local hospital, and my dad is a forklift driver at a factory. And so I didn't grow up surrounded by people that were in the medical profession, so I honestly had no idea how to become a doctor, or it didn't really strike me as something that I could do. My experience with in the medical field and with doctors wasn't great. having a family that doesn't speak English very well and maybe looks a little different than your doctors, it was really apparent to me at a young age that my parents were treated differently because of that. And so I didn't have that positive, role model as a doctor to really like ascribe to be. So then that didn't really cross my mind. And then when I was 18, I got pregnant and had just the most amazing experience with my doctor. She really cared deeply about me and what was happening in my life. And she actually was the first one to say like, oh, you could be a doctor. And I laughed. Like she said that and I laughed because I said, what? No, like, what are you talking about? Like, I did not have good grades in high school. I had a kid and I was, 18 years old. So I didn't believe her. But then I started looking into it and I was like, you know what, I can do this. And so I started down the path. And I started really researching and the importance, and what I found was that there's a huge impact on the people of your community when they can identify with you, and it makes them, those patients have better health outcomes. So they feel more confident going to the doctor and seeing a doctor if they can identify with them, either on a cultural or language level, anything that they feel like you're part of their community, they have better health outcomes. And that was really important to me because the community, I wanted to be a doctor and go back to the community that raised me and help mold me into the person I was. That's what I wanted to do. And so I looked around a lot and I found Pacific Northwest University and I was like, wait, there's a medical school here? Like, yes! Because I didn't want to move away. I didn't want to uproot my entire life. So I went to college in Central, which is in Ellensburg. So I was able to go to college in Ellensburg and then go to medical school in Yakima and stay here. And then I'm going to go to residency, hopefully here in Yakima, and then practice in the community that I said helped raise me and mold me into the woman that I am. And that was super important to me. And so that's really where my path led me. And again, I didn't have great grades. I was not a straight A student. I did not get great grades in college. And despite all of those things, I was still able to remind myself and have other people with, like, I was surrounded by really, really motivational people. And they said, it doesn't matter, like, just keep trying. And I did. And now I'm in school and I'm doing fine. And in a couple of years, I'll be in my community and serving them as a doctor. And if that's the goal that you have, I, like Dr. Lemp, really encourage you to just stick with it and follow it. And even if you don't think you want to do that right now, if at any time you feel like, yeah, I want to be a doctor and I want to stay with my community, then you can. Like, it doesn't have to happen when you're young. It doesn't have to happen when you're a teen or in your 20s or 40s. And so just keep doing whatever it is that fuels your fire. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us online. We hope to continue to be an inspiration for all of you. Please feel free to drop us a comment in the box. And we also included resources in your take-home box of websites and information of how to continue to network as young women in professions. And of course, we can help with the medical doctor dream that some of you may have. But anything that helps, we would like to continue to be in touch. Thanks.